Alrighty, well, I forgot the GoPro, which Andreas told me to grab. We were out in Richford. We're mowing this field first because we're making some dry hay out of it. And as you can probably tell, this is not the Big M 450. This is our old mower, which I'm sure a lot of you know that we have this. Maybe some don't. We had to pull this out because I had a bearing blow on the suction fan that pulls any debris off the radiator. There was a bearing that went on it, so it's probably better. I thought I had them all on. I turned them all on, but two of them weren't working. This one right here actually doesn't work anyways. So let's back up and try that again. This is a loud mower. There's a reason that she's our spare. Boy, it's good. The buttons don't want to work correctly at the moment. Oh, and everything is mowing, so we're off to the races. The controls are obviously, I don't have as many buttons on this, and they're actually backwards of what's the old mower was, or the new mower was. We're not mowing all this field. I'll show you here because you can see some water puddles. But this stuff dries pretty quick. Probably like from here over, and I'll mow the backfield too. We'll do this dry hay. We got like 4 days, which are nice, so should be able to get it in. We'll round bale this, and then probably tomorrow. Maybe I'll mow a little bit later today. Fourth cut as well for the home farm. Carries is all done. Christoph is going to work on my mower. Try to get the bearing. He has the bearings. We'll try to pull it out. See if we can get that one going for tomorrow. So we can finish this up. It's probably good that we're using this one anyways. We try to use it I know it's 2 years now. We didn't use it all last year, but try to pull it out just to make sure that she still works in case of situations like this. We can just go mow with it. So I did grease it up, check the oils, and we're going. So it's not a Cadillac like the other one. The AC has never worked in this machine. Oh my goodness. Hopefully it goes good for this field. She's a bit rougher than the old one. The hydrostatic is obviously different. You're gonna keep it pushed down. But still better than a pull type. I'll do a walk around later on with it so you can see it all in its glory. So this is a 2000. That's, I think 98 is the first year they came out with the Big M. So, and I know it was, I want to say, farmer in Wisconsin, he had the first Krone that came to America. And I know he had that for, I don't know, I think he put like 100,000 acres on it or something like that. And I think when he upgraded, it was like to a Big M 420 or something like that. I read an article about it a couple of years ago. So that's pretty cool. I want to say I'll look what I have on there, and I'll do the math because I know because one of those speed sensors don't work. It doesn't count the acres for it. So typically, how I measure the total acres off this machine is the working hours, the run hours, and then I kind of just figure the acres that I do per hour, kind of an average, and then I want to say it's like 65,000 acres or so on this machine. I know we put like 25,000 or so, maybe 30 on it when we ran it full time. I think the new one has close to 15,000 acres on it right now. So I know we got this in 2010, and we ran it for almost 10 years full time. Oh my gosh. So on this machine, the bottom one is actually it'll lift all three mower decks up, and then obviously the top one is the front, and left and right is left and right, and up is up, down is down, and it's opposite on the newer mowers. Up is down and down is up, so it takes a minute to get used to. And then on this one, kind of like the John Deere choppers, because in reality this right here is a 6000 series John Deere chopper cab. So full on John Deere cab. Obviously we ran a 6000 series choppers and even all that. This right here is the same as a 6000 series chopper. The only thing is Krone went and threw a push the wrong button again. I gotta push that one and I messed it up still. But Krone put just their own display in it. To show the acres and the mower decks, as obviously they don't have that there. So, but it's also got a John Deere 8.1 liter engine in it. So they must have had an agreement at some point in the beginning, and then after, like the Big M2, they had their own cab, and I don't know if they went with a cat engine at first or what they threw in it. I mean, they've had all sorts of engines. They've had cat, man, obviously John Deere, and the 450s are now a Liebherr engine. So they've mixed it up quite a bit. Oh boy. Well, where it's a little too wet, obviously we're gonna just chop that into the fork cut bunk, and that's why I'm kind of leaving most of that, because there's wet spots, and we'll get what we can get. But yeah, so this machine, one of the real reasons that we don't use it that much is the center gearbox. It's not the best anymore. We've had it rebuilt twice. And parts are kind of hard to find for that gearbox, and it just you can hear that she's loud, so she's just not as good as she once was. And I also have a problem with the high range. Again, messed it up. The high range, once it gets hot, doesn't like to always engage. So sometimes I will have to drive home 11 miles an hour because it just won't engage. I don't know if it's just a solenoid or what. I know we've replaced the solenoid before, so I'm not sure if it's in the computer or whatnot, but there's just certain little things that this machine likes to fail. Like there's a computer module that has gone 2-3 times that control the mower decks that we've replaced. So it's got its electrical issues. So we try not to use it too much. If we need to, it's here for us, but definitely isn't gonna go mowing every cut. It just won't last for it. And honestly, in the summer, it's nice to have an AC. I've sweated plenty in this machine. So. All right, so here is the Big M1. I'll just go through it a little bit for people that don't know this machine. It's a 30-foot mower. Every one of these is got a 10-foot deck on it. The cutter bar are all three of them are the same on this machine. So we could technically, the front one broke, we could take a back one off and we could put it in the front. And they're all powered in the same way. So these in the center, I can show you in the back. There's a PTO shaft that comes down. Right in here. Listen up here. So yeah, so there's a PTO that comes down into the mower deck. There's a gearbox on top, and there's 2 pulleys that come off the side that run both sides of the conditioner. And then, so you got the gearbox there, got another small PTO shaft, got a belt that runs over here, and then you got a belt that runs up to the main gearbox, and 3 belts that get engaged by a piston with a tensioner. So that's how they all turn on. The front one, same way, comes down. Except obviously this one's PTO driven, but it's still turned on the same way with a piston. See that pulley right there pushes down and it puts tension on that belt, and that's what engages the mower deck. All 3 are the same, just in different spots, obviously. So kind of what this machine looks like. It does not have mergers. I think the Big M1, you could get mergers for them, but in reality it just doesn't. It's got 300 horse, but it really takes all the horsepower. You go on a hill and she's working, and she'll get warm quicker than you want, really. So I would never want a merger on this machine. We in the back here, we put a stainless steel. It used to be just like a mesh that was stretched out, kind of like a fly mesh, and it spun, but it always got caught. These motors, they go call it almost once a year. I got the panel. I should put the panel back on for the battery, but so. We got a chrome stack, you know, that's necessary for this machine, but this one actually came out of Germany, and it has the quick knife changes on these, so that's actually pretty nice. They didn't start having that on American style. I'm not sure what year it was, but it took a while. I know our Big M 400, which was an American machine, did not have it, so I'm not sure if it was in the 420s that it started or when. I mean, I know our 450 has them, which I'm very much appreciated that it does. I know one of these mower decks are pretty new because I blew one up on the side once, but I think we put the new one in the front and then we put the front one on the side. That way, because in reality, if your front one blows, you've got to stop mowing. If the side one blows, you can still mow with two, and that was kind of our thought process when we did that. We actually had to change the motor in this. We had an oil leak on the injector pump kind of in the back, and it blew the motor up. So we did we found the motor out of an old combine. It was a cotton combine, and then we put it in this. So. But yeah, I mean, front mower deck, it actually does swing side to side. The new ones have it too. Mine actually doesn't. That's just that foot pedal down there. So it's kind of a little summary of the machine. I can go through and see. It's not total acres though. That's daily. I want to see total. This maybe it's 48,000, but that's not true because a lot, even for us, a lot of times we only had 2 mower decks running, so the acreage was always off by a third for us almost, because I could never get that left mower deck. I changed the sensor a bunch of times, but never really got it working. Honestly, nice amount of grass, and you can see that it doesn't lay it as flat as the 450, and that's because I'll show you a little bit better now. You have that center piece where the drive comes down and it pushes the grass left and right, so it doesn't lay it as flat. So that's what they changed it obviously with the 450s, where it was all driven off of one end. Even like the 420s, I think even the 420s, they were still driven kind of the same. There's only the Big M1 where all 3 mower decks were the same size. After the left and right were the same, but the front one was different. And then obviously on the Big M 450s, all 3 of them are different. Yes. So we're in the back part, almost done. Just as much grass back here, really, as the front. I think this is like 6 or 7 acres back here. I don't know if I'm gonna keep mowing with this for 4th cut. I guess it depends on how quick we get that 450 back up and running. We'll probably, I'm sure Andreas will show us taking that apart, or maybe Christoph, I don't know. We'll see. But we'll try to get that back going as quick as possible. As much fun as it is driving this, I do prefer the other one. But, you know, it does the job, so you really can't complain. And it's good to use it, obviously, once in a while. Just in case something happens and you gotta use it more, you know you can. And this machine don't owe us anything, so good to keep it field ready for when you need it. This is the last bit here. If I do mow a little bit more, I'll show a little bit more with the GoPro, and maybe I can do a little bit of comparison with the 450 next to it. That way you can see the differences kind of up close of this machine compared to the 450. I mean, they did come a long ways with it. Alright, so I'm actually gonna work on this mower for a little bit. I was just kind of hear it rattling a little bit, and I'll show you what it actually is in a minute. I'll open it up and we'll start working on it. Alright, so this right here is pretty much just a fan, and there's a tube that comes from the back, and I can show you after. There's a screen, and any debris kind of gets just blown out right there. But if you look at this pulley, that should not do that. So that front bearing is junk. We do have both, and we're just gonna change it. Maybe we'll, I think there is an update kit you can buy, but kind of not very happy that it blew so quickly anyways. But gonna switch it out because we do need it, and we'll keep going. So gonna take this panel off, take the belt off, and then there's a few, not that many bolts really, and the whole thing comes off, and then you just go through, take the pulley off, take that bearing off. We'll see if we take both of them off or not, depending on how the other one looks, but obviously one of them is completely junk, so go from there. Alright, I actually grabbed the GoPro just so I can actually record a little bit while I'm tearing this apart. We're working on the mower now. He's on the phone with... No, the changing the bangs. I'm sure he was working on it the whole time. I'm gonna help him real quick. No, Cody is doing it. We'll be there. Come on. A lot of ugga-duggas on that, girl. Is that the air one? Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. It's a weird looking oil pan. Huh? On this? Yeah. Underneath, and it just drops 2 feet. Yeah. Right in the middle there? Yeah. Must have pump it all up in there. Well, I hope you never have to tear it apart. Yeah, I hope so too. So obviously we forgot the most important step, and that's turn the recording on when we pulled it out. But here she is. So obviously this is where the suction leads. There's just an open port, and it's just pretty much a fan that spins and pulls it, and then you have this 6-inch tube that goes towards the back, and it just sucks anything out, so it keeps the radiator clean. But now we just got to pull that pulley off. Hopefully the shaft isn't messed up. If it is, either we weld it up for now, maybe they have one, but there's an update kit. So smartest thing to do is put an update kit in it, since it broke twice this year, so don't want to keep doing this. Nope. So we'll see. We'll take it apart and find out. Make sure how it looks. That is a good idea. Alright. I took those 2 little bolts out. It's kind of just a wedge locker. I'm just going to put a punch in there, split it open, and hopefully it comes out. I don't know if that punch is sharp enough. You're beating it down. Oh, that almost helps then. That's nice. Damn it. You want to make that fucker a lot smaller. Okay. Damn it. I don't want to fuck myself. You can stick a bolt in and just wedge. I mean, it might just come out. It definitely went down. Yeah. So it's not. Did she come? Oh yeah, she's coming. Yeah.
just pull it out. Yeah, beautiful. Fuck me, Christoph.
What? Housing?
Well, it doesn't look like the bearing's bad. It looks like the shaft went to shit.
Oh. Wow.
They fucking ate the shaft and left the bearing. That's so dumb. Fuck me. That means you gotta take it all apart now. Huh? Yeah.
Was a lock it? What's a lock on it?
Okay. So, did I already show him that the bearing was fucked?
No.
Not the bearing. It's actually the shaft that we, so it got a little bit more difficult now. Because, obviously that's just not we're gonna have to take this piece off and we're gonna weld it up and we're gonna make it work.
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong?
I think the second one has died too.
Yeah.
Both.
Oh yeah, that one you can see it too.
Both.
Alright, now we're really
Fucking
in the
gay.
doghouse. Son of a gun. Alrighty, we'll get back to you on this. We'll give you a little bit before and after. And we're gonna make this thing run today. Should it run? Yes, it should, because we need it. Alright, so he's got it welded up a bit. He's gonna grind it down. Probably gotta weld a little bit more and then slap the shaft on. I'm gonna grab some water so this other bearing doesn't get too hot. It's already warm.
So I welded it back up. I got the bearings back on. It has a little bit of, but not bad. A little bit of movement, but we ordered the update kit and that is out for a couple of weeks. Must be coming from Germany, but so we're gonna make this do for the next cut, and hopefully for 5th cut we'll have the up kit and we'll put it back together. Like, I got this to put on, and then we're gonna, it's already dark out, I think it's around 8 o'clock, we'll put it on. That way tomorrow morning the mower should be done and we can do other shit. There's plenty to do.
I have no clue what Christoph recorded, but this thing is Jimmy rigged back together. It is not, the shaft is bent. The shaft has been welded now to get the slop out, but we found out it's bent after. We had a kind of,
Oh, good thing I didn't let go yet.
I can't really help too much in here, but so this is part of the fan or the radiator suction, where it kind of keeps the radiator clean. And there's just nothing for me to do right here.
You keep talking.
Yes, I'm doing good at that. So we're gonna narrate this. That way they don't.
I don't know if this is supposed to come. I don't know if Mike took it out, but we got it out.
I might suck
with it there,
Wait.
and we're gonna get
She's
the
tight.
We're gonna get the fucker back in.
You're doing great.
I don't know if I'm doing great, but with the...
No, you're not. You're doing horrible right now.
Yep, now then.
I don't know about for in, but
Let me get to the other side.
We're gonna scratch all the paint.
yeah, I know. It doesn't matter if you scratch the paint. The value of this machine just keeps going up.
It's like a house. We are shining the bright light here.
Chris is putting in maximum
I'm putting
effort.
in the effort that I found I could do.
He's on support team.
I don't want to crush my fingers in there. You guys are doing great.
You have to do the side ones first or stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we're done for this for the night. I don't know what time it is.
It's a little after, almost 9.
It's 9 o'clock. Freddie's gonna finish in the morning, and then he's gonna continue mowing 4th cut.
Yep.
We have been delayed on that.
Right.
For the home farm.
Nice thing with 4th cut is you can mow really as much as you want. I mean, you know, to a point, a lot more than like 1st and 2nd, because it's not as warm out. There's a little bit less feed, so the chopper can keep up better. But I can get done mowing, and I can do other stuff as well. It's really the only time I actually do something besides mow. Otherwise, I'm in that mower. I don't have a CB, so I'm by myself, which ain't a bad thing.
If he put a CB back into it.
I know.
His broke. He's got everything but a working CB. His antenna's on there. But he ripped the dash out of the CB and hasn't replaced it.
Yeah, I know.
But whatever. I don't know. I don't think this will be the end of a video. It's about the middle of a video.
No, this is the end.
This is the end?
I got like 10-15 minutes on my phone for you.
Oh, okay.
And you got about 20-30 minutes
Oh,
of you here.
that truck would be done.
Cornelius is like,
that truck would be done.
These guys suck.
But I was going through and greasing it, and the new pin wouldn't take grease. That goes on to one of the springs, and I was like, what the hell's going on? So I tore it back apart, and one of the 2 new pins doesn't have a grease hole on the other end. So
Oh, I tried beating that fucker out, but it would not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The 1840,
Oh, that valve.
that valve.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, so I had to tear it back apart because they gave us a pin that didn't have a grease hole on the other side. So that's why that's not done. So the 1840 here, the feed guy was feeding 3-4 mornings ago. All of a sudden the bucket wouldn't stop trying to go down. You can see that right there. H pattern, old school. This thing has
Same amount of hours, it didn't go much.
it's 38,114. Has a few hours on it.
You can't get that valve up. You gotta
But the valve in here, which you can see straight down, one's in the middle and one's stuck in. Something's wrong in there. We gotta figure it out.
Most of us, we're gonna have to take the whole thing out
And open it up and see
it's
what's...
probably stuck in the back. Where this thing is.
Alright, but yes, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Till the next one.